So today I'm going to show you how to swap out or replace a new deadbolt for an old deadbolt that's not working well anymore. I also have a video on troubleshooting deadbolts, so you can have a look at that too and see maybe you don't have to replace it and you can just do something to make it work better. So first thing you have to do, you see there's two screws back here. Those two screws have to come out. We got our screws undone. Take that out. And you see what you're left with is the cylinder, and you can take the other side of the deadbolt out, and you're basically 3/4 of the way there. Now, sometimes you may have a situation like this where there are no screws on the back of that plate. That means that is a little kind of decorative cover plate. You have to get that off. Usually, right under here, there is a little Allen set screw or a hex set screw. You'll need the right sized one of these to get that off, and making sure that comes off, and then you got to pry this little plate off with a screwdriver. Usually someplace around here there'll be a little cutout in order to pry it off. Protect your door finish, you just slip a piece of cardboard under there on the screwdriver and pry it off, and there you see your two screws that you got to take out. See, there's a little cutout on the bottom of this thing that you want to get your screwdriver into to pop it off. You can take this to the hardware store to buy the new deadbolt. It's really possible, if your problem is only in here, that you buy a new deadbolt, and if it's the exact same, you can basically just slip it in here. You don't have to worry about changing the bolt out if the bolt's working properly, if it's not that old a deadbolt. So just something to consider to make the job even easier. Now I got to take the bolt out. This one is held in by two screws. There's another type which is just set in place, doesn't have any screws. This is the other type of way bolts are mounted. It just slips into place there, and you just pull it out. Sometimes the new deadbolt kit that you get will work with either something that a bolt that's put in with a plate, or a bolt that's just slid in place. Again, if you can get the bolt out and take it to the hardware store, get an exact replacement, that helps a lot. And then the whole thing gets pushed out like that. This one comes out real easy, but say it's stuck in there real good. If you can slide a screwdriver through something, you can get some leverage to pull it out. So how far back this hole is drilled in the door is called the setback. There's kind of two standard setbacks that are used, and again the deadbolt little replacement kit that you have bought will be able to do either. This one is correct for this hole, the setback, as you can see that is dead center there where the pins are going to go through. If it's not, they have a way to adjust them, and they'll show you in the instructions. This one you just kind of rotate it like that, and you see it makes this part a little bit longer. Now there is usually an up and a down to the deadbolt because this is offset a little bit. So look for the up sign, and you just slide it in. This one's going to require trimming of the wood to fit nicely. You can use just use a razor knife to trim that up. Usually they just slide right in. Okay, so I just used a razor knife to clean up the edges of this a bit to make it a little bit bigger. Yes, I know, hear you guys talking about, oh, you're supposed to use a chisel and that. Yeah, you're supposed to use a chisel if you're chiseling out this whole thing, but for this I'm just trimming a little bit here and there. And most people have razor knives, they don't have chisels, and now it slides in nicely. So then you just put these screws back in. And you put the deadbolt back in. And getting these screws in is a bit of a hassle. You really got to wiggle them around a bit. Sometimes if you don't get this, if it's off center, this is up or down too much, it'll bind when it opens and closes. So you just loosen off the screws a bit, move it a bit, and tighten it up till it works well. And then that's it for this side of the door. The other side that you may want to replace is the strike plate where the deadbolt actually goes in. If it's in decent shape and it works with the new deadbolt, maybe you just leave it, but I'll show you how to do it anyways. So here's the strike plate, the new strike plate that came with the replacement kit that I have. Here's the old one. As you see, it's got 4 holes, screw holes instead of 2. It's more secure just because there's more screws going into the wood and they're going in deeper. However, to put this one on, you're going to have access to a drill. Depending on how secure you think you need things and that, you either just stick with the old one or upgrade to the new one. So on this strike plate where there's 4 holes, these big holes are where the big 3-inch long screws are going to go in, and you want that to be towards where the most wood is. So that's on the inside of the door frame. I'm just going to drill 4 little tiny pilot holes right in the center so I can make sure that I'm pretty much centered on all these holes. The instructions for the deadbolt kit say use a 1/8 inch bit, so that's what I'm going to use. So this kit comes with both a long and a shorter screw that'll go in to these big holes. I'm going to use a longer one because I got a hammer drill. If you don't have a hammer drill and you're screwing them in by hand, you might have to go for the short one because it just takes you forever to screw them in by hand with a regular screwdriver. And that's it. A new deadbolt in place. I have I mentioned I have a video on troubleshooting deadbolts, whether you need to replace it or not. You might want to watch that and get some ideas. Otherwise, thanks for watching.